Hello again, so I'm still in Odessa. I was thinking of going today to Nikolaev, but I will do that tomorrow morning, early in the morning, because it's a long trip, 120 kilometers at least, I think. And I don't know what's issues there are going to be. For I may have to take a long detour, for example, because of not being allowed to cross a bridge. When going by bicycle directly to from Odessa to Nikolaev. I've ridden yesterday, made a long trip, 20 kilometers or so, made video with the DJI Osmo 4. And if there's interest, I will upload that. So put a comment if you want to see it. I need to transfer it to an SSD and then make some room on my DJI card. I have a spare one, 64 gigabytes, which is a bit slow, but it seems to record fine. Okay, now to this. So I'm in Ukraine, Odessa. What did I see of destroyed buildings yesterday and the day before that? Well, nothing. I saw dilapidated buildings in several places, but it was already there. That was not caused by the war. You have to really search for the destroyed, damaged buildings from rocket attacks. It happens, but it's in specific places. It's the same with Kharkov. In Kharkov, you see actually more, but that is, you don't see more damage. You see a few damaged buildings, but what you see mostly is a lot of windows that are broken and replaced by OSB, but not damaged buildings. Only saw a few, and that was the same in 2022. But the broken windows, the number of them, that has definitely increased from explosions, etc. So things are not so bad. I mean, it's not unrepairable. It is not destroyed, the city. It's nothing like cities, places that were just about wiped from the map. Although I saw some, like Mariupol, I saw some videos from Mariupol recently from some guy. I need to check. I need to check that channel again. But some pro-Russian nut job. But let's talk about this. So I cycled in the city. I didn't see any damaged buildings. Life seemed to be also going as normal, but that's everywhere really. It does, because it has to. You can't just stop everything. This is a nutjob channel, the Duran. I mentioned these guys before. This guy, Mercouris, Alexander Mercouris. I think he's Greek or something. There's another guy he works with. These are nut jobs. And let's listen. I listened to a few things and I thought these people are crazy. Oh, but let's look at this first. We should be grateful to Russia's continued patience. Give us a fucking break. Indeed, if you could only hear the argument around family tables in our Russian homes, many of us are enraged about crazy US and UK politicians. Yeah, if you're a stupid idiot who believes the Russian propaganda, then that might be that might happen. Yeah. And if we had access to the red button, the world is very lucky putting it at the driving wheel. The world, there's a psychopath who has invaded Georgia in 2008, who has invaded Crimea and the Donbass in 2014, and now the rest of Ukraine, and continues threatening with nuclear war. And the world is lucky that he's at the driving wheel. You goddamn insane. Yeah, they've saved, prevented, or avoided a couple of world wars at least by now. Yeah, bullshit. Now let's look at this nut job. This the Mercurius nut job. So, of course, people who appear on these videos in this nut job are also nut jobs.
Also have become, it was on the eve of the incursion, they have become more isolated because this is a group of countries. They have blood discipline, they deny obvious things, and they absolutely don't want to speak about peace, about realistic peace. Uh,
Realistic peace is not possible with a psychopath. Putin does not honor any treaties as he has shown. This is a complete waste of time to negotiate. You need to force a win. And by the way, just before the incursion into Kursk, etc., I said, not long after I returned to Ukraine, this second trip this year, that what Ukraine should do is target more inside Russia. oil facilities if possible, but those are far away, production facilities. Then, yeah, anything inside Russia. And of course, that's what they're doing. They have been preparing for that. It's very interesting. The biggest mistake that the Ukrainians made was last year with the spring offensive. They should never have waited for equipment or gather strength. You always need to push people, to push the opponents at the same time, otherwise they can prepare defenses, which is exactly what happened. But of course they were also not given enough equipment by the EU or NATO, USA. I think things should have been given much sooner, and actually I think in its first year already NATO should have just stepped in after all the war crimes and say, set up their own red lines. The red line is, if you don't get out, we will destroy your army within Ukraine, and that would have been taken 3 days or so at most. And yeah, then you think about people saying, "Oh, what about nuclear war?" if Putin starts anything, he's a dead man, and Russia gets turned into glass. It's very simple. So that's never an option. And he talks about countries being isolated, not wanting peace. Bullshit. The only one who doesn't want peace is Putin. You've seen the discussions in the past and then Russia comes with totally unrealistic proposals, which are just worthless. It's pointless.
The majority of UN members were demanding to start some kind of meaningful negotiations, realistic negotiations that could.
Yeah. And the Russians never do that.
An end to this crisis, and they were.
It's very simple negotiations. You just fuck off out of Ukraine.
Very keen to pay due attention to the root causes of this situation, because it's not unprovoked aggression.
Yes, it is, you goddamn moron.
As the West was trying to frame what happened in February 2022. There were reasons for this. There were no reasons for this.
There's a psychopath in Russia who is not happy with the loss of status of the Soviet Union. That's it. Note that Putin wanted to be part of NATO, but he didn't want to follow procedure. He felt special. Yeah, you can call him a narcissistic psychopath, which means a psychopathic superiorist. He feels superior, but he doesn't need the praise from people, which a narcissist does.
For this, there was a war which happened since 2014, and we came there to stop the war.
We came there to stop the war. Fucking idiot! You started it, Russian shithead.
It's very hard to deny, and the countries from the global south, especially our Chinese partners, they are quite clear about this. They say, if we want to avoid this kind of crisis, we need to tackle the root causes. We need to tackle the question of European security. We need to tackle the question of the enlargement of NATO. All these things.
Oh, bullshit. There's only one thing that needs to be done. Putin and his army needs to fuck off from Ukraine. That's it. It's very simple. Root causes. Root causes are that there's a psychopath with ideals of getting back the Soviet Union in charge in Russia. That's it. This guy's a nut job. This guy's a nut job. This guy sounded also like a nut job. The commenters are all nut job. These people are all insane. Love and support Russia from the UK. Yeah, that's probably a Russian propagandist. Or someone that's possible who is disgusted with the government. So there are some people pro-Russia because they don't like what's going on in their own country. It's a sort of counter reaction to that sort of angry response. Our politicians may speak, but they do not represent us. That's a problem in in the West, in the Netherlands too. And that has to do a lot with immigration as well. But other matters too, where politicians never do what they state that they will do. It's just ridiculous. If you look at what there has been some research about this in the Netherlands. And politicians just about never do anything that they promise. It's enlightening to listen to a mature, knowledgeable diplomat. No, it isn't. Honesty of Russians. You got to be fucking kidding me. These are the biggest liars there are. And it has been since 2014 when I followed news reports from Russian TV, which looked like World War II propaganda films. Same style of talking, same lies about the opponent. All this stuff got debunked on VK, Vkontakte, by Ukrainians. For example, pictures, and then the Ukraine showed that it was a picture of something completely different somewhere else. Lies, 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 lies. That's what Russia is. One can hear negotiations, peace in the words, not any threats, very sober. This is just moronic comments. Glenn and Alexander. Well, if he works, so this guy that works with him, I don't know. But then there, thank you. What an excellent diplomat. Give us a fucking break. Just another liar. Great to have a Russian point of viewpoint. Actually, that's not interesting. Average people, that's more interesting. When Lavrov retires, yeah, I hope when he then gets sent to prison for the rest of his life. That psychopath, that liar, that's an example of the insanity that's going on in Russia. He said in some weeks after the invasion, or months, or a month or two, that Russia was not present in Ukraine, and then a few months later he still said they were not active in Ukraine. He's a completely insane liar. And of course Russia had to. The only thing that Russia did was to react to Ukraine's aggression. You can't make this shit up. These people are so insane. This whole channel really, really deserves to be banned. I'm not in favor of banning, I'm in favor of free speech, but this is like indoctrination with garbage, with bullshit, with lies. These are psychopaths. This guy doesn't give a shit about anyone. What he cares about is money and putting out bullshit that gets an audience. That's what he cares about. This face of this guy is the same of that of a psychopath. He's very close to that, I'm sure. Possibly he is one. Okay, that's it for now. Bye.